All right, everyone. We're going to do the next part of my birthday special for Trina Christine Mason, in which we're going to be playing some Sega Genesis games. We're going to play a total of 4 of them. And our first game for this one is Jeopardy. So let's put our knowledge to the test and see how it goes.
This is Jeopardy!
Today we have Elaine and here we go. Put the dollar figures in place.
Here are the categories.
We have Dry Up, notice the quotation marks, for the kids, Dance Fever, Fairy Tales, School Food, and finally, Art. Okay, I can deal with these categories. I'm going to leave them alone. And I'm going to start things off with Art for 100. A painting of inanimate objects, not people. What is a still life?
You are correct.
I would like to have 200, please, for Art. American painter famous for scenes of the sea, rural America, and the Civil War. Who is Winslow Homer?
You are correct.
I'd like Art for 300, please. The musical Sunday in the Park with George was based on a painting by this French artist. Who is Georges Seurat?
You are correct.
The overly ornate style which succeeded Mannerism and preceded Rococo.
Sorry.
Oh, Baroque.
You are correct.
George Jefferson's occupation. What is dry cleaning?
You are correct.
Eveready, Mallory, and Rayovac. What is a dry cell? Or what are dry cells, I should say.
You are correct.
I will move on to dry up for 300, please. English poet, author of Absalom and Achitophel, who was Dryden.
You are correct.
In the Bible, Ezekiel saw a valley full of the dries. What are dry bones?
You are correct.
Consisting of solid CO2, it contains no water. What is dry ice?
You are correct.
Art for 500, please. Belgian surrealist with a penchant for painting bowler hats. Who is Rene Magritte?
You are correct.
I'll take Dance Fever for 100. When you swing your partner in do-si-do. What is square dancing?
You are correct.
I like Dance Fever for 200. 60 Spud Crusher. What is the mashed potato?
You are correct.
Travolta and Deborah wing their way around Mickey Gillies doing this. What is the Texas two-step?
You are correct.
In 1990, this hot Brazilian dance had pelvises gyrating all over America. What is the lambada?
You are correct.
The original version of this dance hit #1 two different times, in 1960 and 1962. What's the twist?
You are correct.
Fairy Tale's 100. In Hansel and Gretel, Gretel ended up shoving her into an oven. Who is the witch?
You are correct.
This little man said, "Today I bake, tomorrow brew. The next day I'll have the queen's child too." Who is Rumpelstiltskin?
You are correct.
Fairy Tales 300, please. This breakfast food rolled its way to safety until it agreed to sit on a pig's snout. What's a pancake?
You are correct.
Fairy Tales 300. Nationality of Aladdin, the boy with the magic lamp. What is Chinese?
You are correct.
The little match girl was carried to heaven by this relative. Who is her grandmother?
You are correct.
No one in his neighborhood calls him Fred. Who is Mr. Rogers?
You are correct.
Right? Monroe leaves beast who'd rather smell the flowers than fight. Who is Ferdinand?
You are correct.
The first thing the old lady swallowed in the famous rhyme. What's a fly?
You are correct.
You meet Chugs, Gussets, and Gherkins in his book, If I Ran the Zoo. Who is Dr. Seuss?
You are correct.
For the kids for 500. Nickname of Kid Detective Brown or a compendium of knowledge. What's encyclopedia?
You are correct.
One of these a day won't keep the teacher away, but kids keep trying. What's an apple?
You are correct.
200. Food item called a Coney Island, a tube steak, or a foot long. What's a hot dog?
You are correct.
300, please. Starch and dairy duo that's traditional Friday cafeteria fare. What is macaroni and cheese?
You are correct.
Let's have school food for 400. Plastic utensil that is a combination of a spoon and fork. What's a spork?
You are correct.
Subject of 1981 controversy, this condiment never wound up as a vegetable. What is ketchup?
You are correct.
Now we're going to move on to the next round, which is otherwise known as...
Double Jeopardy.
Let's get to it right now. Dollar figures are in place. Let's get to the categories.
Here are the categories.
New Orleans. Bodies of water. Food. Potpourri. What's in the name? And finally, we'll deal with admirals. Okay. I'm going to leave the categories as they are. He was proclaimed Admiral of the Ocean Sea by Ferdinand and Isabella. Who's Christopher Columbus?
You are correct.
Admirals for 400, please. The answer there is the Daily Double. I'm going to take a chance. Father of the American Navy, turned down for Admiral, he became one in the Russian Navy. Who's John Paul Jones?
You are correct.
Appropriately named Admiral, who was the first to fly over both poles. Who's Richard Byrd?
You are correct.
I'd like to have Admiral for Ingram, please. He defeated a Spanish fleet of 10 ships at Manila without a single American life lost.
Sorry.
Oh, it was George Dewey. That's right, George Dewey.
You are correct.
Fat Tuesday festivities. What is Mardi Gras?
You are correct.
I'll stick with the category for 400. New Orleans. A section of the city called Algiers is located on the west bank of this river. What's the What's the Mississippi? Sorry, I had a minor little cough there.
You are correct.
Okay, let's keep it going. 600, please. New Orleans. Brand of jazz played by Al Hirt and Pete Fountain. What is Dixieland?
You are correct.
New Orleans 800. Stadium where the Saints go marching in. What's the Superdome?
You are correct.
And New Orleans 4000. French Quarters coffee made with this root is bitter but smooth. What is chicory?
You are correct.
Let's take Admiral 1000. This father of the nuclear sub managed to serve 18 years beyond compulsory retirement age. Who is Hyman Rickover?
You are correct.
Absolutely right. I will go with Bodies of Water for 200. Originally at Lewiston, New York, this falls has moved 7 miles upstream. What is Niagara Falls?
You are correct.
While Thatcher looks over Parliament, Parliament looks over this. What is the Thames?
You are correct.
Hoover Dam gives us this Nevada lake. What is Lake Mead?
You are correct.
Okay. The only one of the 5 Great Lakes entirely in the U.S. What is Lake Michigan?
You are correct.
You can bet on the banks of this lake between California and Nevada. What is Lake Tahoe?
are correct.
All right, food for 200. The Mayans made corn, one of the primary foods, into flat cakes, now called this. What are tortillas?
You are correct.
I'll take food for 400. Shredded fruit most commonly found in macaroons. What is a coconut?
You are correct.
French for rawness. These are raw vegetables served as appetizers.
Sorry.
Oh, crudites, however you say it. I don't remember.
You are correct.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Though his name means famous, this Dangerfield gets no respect. Who is Rodney Dangerfield?
You are correct.
Variations on this most common feminine name in Christian lands include May, Polly, and Marie. What is Mary?
You are correct.
Princess in Hebrew, or the Lee nobody doesn't like. Who's Sarah?
You are correct.
His forte is singing, not being a bean farmer, as his first name implies. Oh. Fabian.
You are correct.
Oh, daily double. This crystallized treat is made from just sugar and water, not from boulders, and it's rock candy.
You know the correct response?
I knew that one, but I didn't get a chance to buzz in. Next clue. State whose name comes from the coupling of its founder's name with the Latin word for trees. What is Pennsylvania?
You are correct.
This French salad dressing is both means and is made with a little vinegar. What is a vinaigrette?
You are correct.
And we have one category left. Let's get to it. Only hope remained after her box was opened. Who is Pandora?
You are correct.
Islam's holiest city. What is Mecca?
You are correct.
The nation's largest single user of almonds is this chocolate maker. What is Hershey?
You are correct.
and Her inspired Romeo and Juliet? Who is Thisbe?
You are correct.
Only Universal Studios special effects and Moses could part it. What is the Red Sea?
You are correct.
So I have $33,200. Pete is $400. Elaine is going home. Final Jeopardy. Category is biblical birds. I'm gonna wager $133. When the Israelites asked Moses for meat, God provided thousands of these scout birds. What are quails?
You know the correct response?
Quail, okay. I don't think quails is acceptable. Well, we'll find out here in a minute. If they'll take it or not. They'll take it. So I end up with $33,333. I'll see you all for the next game.